that right now. Senator Hilkeman probably thinks he's got a pretty good shell protecting his brain because he's a doctor, but he's also got sense enough to know that stone is stronger than bone.
1 minute, and then you will be on another time, sir.
Thank you, Mr. President. If I challenge him to get in the position of somebody who's going to run a race and run as hard as he could and hit his head against that wall, he'd say, Senator Chambers, either you're crazy or you think I am. He knows stone is stronger than bone. But if water can wear away rock, if I continue like water continually dropping on stone, I may make progress where nobody thought progress could be made before. And as they say on Star Trek, going where no person has gone before, they don't know what they'll find when they get there. But since there is something beyond here, and it's called there, something will be there, because if nothing is there, there is no there there. There exists only in relationship to something else. And the relationship is the difference between there.
You are now on your own time.
Thank you, Mr. President. The difference between there and here. So instead of just standing up here and saying again and again what it is that I'm mainly concerned about, I want to work on something that may be of value. So I'm going to have an opportunity to read this. Mr. President, if I may quote a scripture, well done, my good and faithful servant. This is a well-drafted amendment, and because we are actually moving towards something, I will end my speaking now and allow Senator Larson to take over from here. Thank you, Mr. President. Oh, I withdraw my amendment.
So ordered. Mr. Clerk.
Mr. President, Senator Larson would move to amend with floor amendment 113.
Senator Larson, you're recognized to open on your amendment.
Thank you, Mr. President. FA 113 actually expands a little farther to what Senator Chambers was trying to do in FA 112, and in the spirit of compromise and to help the body move forward and save time, I agreed to it. So on page 1 of the committee amendment AM 2210, it strikes form of discrimination and inserts the word act, as FA 112 did. And then on line 8, there will be a period after employment, and we strike the language, everything from including actions that affect an employee's compensation, work location rights, immunities, promotions, privileges, and other terms of conditions of employment. So it'll just end after employee's employment. I have Senator Chambers, will you yield the question?
Senator Chambers, will you yield?
Yes.
Senator Chambers, if we adopt FA 113, you'll let AM 2210 come on and LB 821 move off a general file?
Yes.
Thank you, Senator Chambers. We can move then on LB 821 tonight, and in an effort to save time and work on some other things. Thank you, Mr. President.
Seeing no one on the queue, you're recognized to close on your FA 113. Senator Larson.
On the computer, it says it has through the word enrollment. It should be employment on line 11. Do I need to redo the floor amendment? I know I wrote the amendment right. It might have got typed in wrong.
The word should be what, Senator?
Employment, not enrollment.
We can modify that here if you're okay with that.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay.
I just wanted to make sure it was right in the computer because I wrote it right.
It's taken care of. Senator Larson, you're recognized to close. Senator Larson waives closing. The question is the adoption of floor amendment 113. All in favor vote aye. Opposed vote nay.
This is Diana.
Have all voted? Record, Mr. Clerk.
30 yeas, no nays, Mr. President, on the adoption of Senator Larson's amendment.
The amendment is adopted.
I have nothing further in the bill at this time, Mr. President.
Seeing no one else in the queue.
I have nothing further to the committee amendments. I'm sorry.
Seeing no one else in the queue, Senator Har, you're recognized to close on the Business and Labor Committee amendments.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Senator Chambers, Senator Larson, for your hard work on this bill. I would ask for your support on AM 2210.
You've heard the closing on AM 2210. All in favor vote aye. All opposed vote nay. Have all voted? Record, Mr. Clerk.
42 ayes, no nays, Mr. President, on the adoption of committee amendments.
The committee amendment is adopted. Senator Larson, seeing no one in the queue, you're recognized to close on LB 821 for advancement. Senator Larson waives closing. The question for the body is the advancement of LB 821. All in favor vote aye. All opposed vote nay. Have all voted? Record, Mr. Clerk.
40 ayes, 1 nay, Mr. President, on the adoption of the motion to advance the bill.
LB 821 advances. Mr. Clerk.
Mr. President, I have a priority motion. Senator Larson would move to adjourn the body until Thursday, March 31st at 9:00 a.m.
You've heard the motion. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. We are adjourned.
The Nebraska Legislature has adjourned. Join NET World or visit netnebraska.org/capital for live coverage when the unicameral reconvenes. Follow news from the Nebraska Legislature on NET Radio's Morning Edition and All Things Considered.
We are here tonight to explore tough issues.
You've got to have people around you who aren't just laying rose petals in front of your way.
And I kid you not, this is true.
Trust is everything.
This has been so much fun.
It's about reaching people.
There are more players on the world stage. The issues are more complex. We ask the questions that take us closer to the truth.
What happened and what might happen.
Because that's what we do.
Would you like doing something like I do?
I couldn't do this. I'm not qualified.
I was thinking exactly the same thing.
At a time of war in the heart of Nebraska, soldiers and citizens came together.
The whole area here was mobilized to support the base.
And now it's up to a new generation to preserve its story.
A lot of history is looking at the tiny details.
Kearney Goes to War, Remembering the Home Front.
Coming in May to NET.
We now join the following program already in progress.
Roaring jet engine sort of a noise.